Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Okay, let's take a look at things here, shall we? Current blood sugar is at 6.1. Okay, all last night I was pretty well around the 6 mark. The lowest was 5.3. The highest, I'm sorry, my phone. The highest is around 6.3. So I had a pretty good night. I always seem to be feeling more energetic. So, was yesterday a win or not a win? Let's take a look here. It's 94% time and range, 5% above. We still have to work on that a bit. 94, 1% below. So for 15 minutes yesterday, I was below 3.9. I was going to try to hide this last number, but it kind of slipped out. Average blood sugar is, in millimoles per liter, is 6.6. So for the American population, let's just do this. Oops. It's 119, roughly. 118.8 to be exact. I understand because when I was diagnosed, that was how blood sugars were. I don't know why they all had to change. There's other things that hasn't changed, but today I want to discuss 3 little words that can spark fear into any T1D's life, and that is, we're out of insulin. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay, the 3 little words that, besides your low, can strike fear in any diabetic's mind, and that is, you are out of insulin. God. There have been times I knew I had another bottle somewhere here, and you tear apart your apartment looking for it, instead of saying, oh well, I better order. No, I know I've got an extra one. Sometimes I think we are just a little stressed out, but there are so many ways for any supplies. I've always suggested a simple thing I had learned when I was in retail years ago. It used to be called, with the company I worked for, Accelerated Inventory Management. It's a manual system in which you have to count your stock. You begin with a number, okay? And at the beginning of the week, you count. At the end of the week, you count. Now, this only means you really, after the first time, every week after, you're only going to have to count one, because your end count is always your beginning count. You determine what you went through in that 1 week. Sounds simple? Next, you want to make sure you have a certain amount of supply built in, whether it be a week, a month, a year, whatever you feel necessary and can afford. So, if you can only afford one bottle of insulin, well, one bottle of insulin. But for like tubing and everything in BC, everything you need for diabetes is covered by pharmacare. And I'm sure it's pretty similar right through the rest of the provinces. So you want to ensure that you keep accurate records. You can do it on I'm sure you can do a spreadsheet on your phone, your laptop, your iPad that comes out with the control. So you have your beginning total plus any items that you purchased when they came in, you're going to add it to your stock. So if I had 5 bottles of insulin at the beginning, you add the two together and you have 7 bottles of insulin. If you use your ending count would be 4. You had 4 bottles. Means you've gone through how many? 3. And if you want a 3-week supply, you would have 9 bottles of insulin would be your new total. And it constantly rolls. And it's the greatest system. If you want a better explanation, email me at mikesdiabetesworld.ca, let's try this again. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.ca. And I will give you a breakdown of it. But it allows me to have certain things. For insulin, whenever I get insulin in, I always take it out of the packaging so that I can see in my pack how much insulin I have. Because if you have to, you could use an already used syringe, but you can't sort of just make insulin. And I don't suggest you get into the practice of reusing your items because of bacterial and they get less sharp and it's a real mess. So I wouldn't suggest that you do this. Okay. But you don't have to use my system. Any system that you can keep in ordering. Then call in your order to your drugstore. Either go pick it up. Some drugstores do offer delivery. I know when I was still living in my condo, every Thursday I got a delivery. And I knew it was coming. And I'd unpack it right away. I'd write down what I got in right away, so when it came time to do the counts, I could do it. I could keep myself well stocked, and so I didn't run out. Because the fear is real. If you go to your drugstore and they are out of it, and you have to go to a different drugstore, it's a lot of asking questions, pulling out your health card, pulling out your insurance cards. So, yes, I'm calling this out of insulin, but it could be for any supplies. Could be for lancets. Ideally, you want to use clean, fresh, sterilized for all. And you can use this for anything. Something simple. Yes, this is a system I developed from working in retail. Took something from the retail industry I was in, changed it so it works for me. Could also work for you, but if you have a better system, let's share it. Let's come up with ways that we don't have empty boxes in our fridge. I've done that where I thought, I've opened up a box of insulin, used the insulin, but for some reason it was kept in the fridge, but it was turned around. So I thought, I have another box of insulin. And it's kind of like, well, I'm going to call in sick for work because I have to go get insulin. It's not something, well, yes, I could miss my morning dose. It won't be so bad. Insulin is something you're going to need pretty damn quick. So come up with a system that works for you. Keeping your supplies in order is vital. Have you got the message yet? You want to have a system where things are organized that you can look at and come up with stuff. I got diabetes at 13. And I was a typical 13-year-old kid, 13-year-old boy who did not keep their room clean at all. In fact, it was a disaster. So I'd keep my insulin in the fridge, but all my other supplies were either in the bathroom or in my bedroom. It was all over the place. So you need to ensure things are always taken care of. When I went to high school, because it was in a private school, I got a plastic container, kind of those drawer things, and I took it to school with me and I left it there and come back and I'd fill up every autumn and I'd utilize that for all my supplies. It was kind of nice because if things got out of hand, I'd be called up during morning inspection or whatever. But I had to get a lock for it eventually, which wasn't such a big thing because everyone had their own little personal lockers. Some were this big, some were. And it was your own private place. So it wasn't a big issue, but if I was low, so I gave my number to one other person. And that worked well. Necessity, what is the old saying? Necessity is the mother of all inventions. You come up with ways of managing, but you want to make sure you have enough to cover you. And if some emergency that you can't get insulin for a week or two, you have some on hand. Think about it. Come up with your own system. Again, if you want more information on my system, email me at mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. And with that, I hope you have a great day and we'll talk later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.